Hello, welcome. I'm Sandhya. In this part of the video lecture, as a part of the course Programming for Problem Solving, we will be looking at reading and writing strings. Before we start this topic, let's take a minute and try to see what did we see in the previous lecture. It's clear that string is a group of characters. Because string is not a predefined data type in C, we implement string as character arrays. So therefore, because they are arrays, they can be initialized both compile time and runtime. And we have seen all the possible ways of initializing the strings in the last lecture. So now we will try to see how do we read and write strings? What are all the multiple possible ways of reading and writing strings? Yes, you can read and write strings in a multiple ways. The first one is reading strings. Reading string is the process of reading a group of characters from the console or, so that's why we can do that using a predefined formatted input function called a scanf. Which format specifier is used? Yes, scanf. There's a predefined format specifier called as percentile s, which is used to directly read a string. Okay, so scanf percentile s is the combination that is used to read a string. Example, in this case, there's a name declared with 10, a character array declared with 10 size. Now I can read it by writing scanf percentile s name. And there's one more note that needs to be remembered. We always have the habit of writing ampersand for everything possible, but scanf percentile s. Percentile s, since it talks about group of characters, you don't write ampersand. That's the only point to be remembered. If you use percentile s, no need to use ampersand. Okay, but there is a issue with reading strings using scanf. For example, I wrote scanf percentile s. I'm reading a city called New Delhi. I'm reading a city called New Delhi. There's something called a char city of 20. Char city of 20. I read scanf percentile s city. And now my input is New Delhi. What does the computer do? Yes, it exactly compiler reads only new and terminates reading because scanf terminates with a white space or a null character. Because there is a white space after new, it simply terminates reading. So that's the reason you just cannot, store your value. It only new is read. What is the other way of doing it? The other way of doing it is mentioning the width. So scanf supports another way of reading it by just writing scanf percentile WS, where W stands for width, which we have already studied in managing input output, where width is the number of characters that can be read. So if you want to read a string of length 10, then you got to submit percentile WS. But there is a problem with itself again. Percentile WS waits for you to give continuously 10 characters. If you don't give the width number of characters, it waits for you until you give width number of characters. So width number of characters needs to be given. Do I have any other alternative where we can directly use this? Yes. For example, let us take it here. Scanf percentile 6s. You give GRIT, it reads the entire string, no problem. GRIT, null character, that's fine. But if you give Gokaraji, it only reads till Gokara, Gokara, because you clearly mentioned the width as 6, it only reads 6 characters in either case. Okay. So yes, but is there any other way of reading a line of text using scanf? Yes. Edit set conversion code is a conversion code that takes the following form: open square bracket, cap symbol, slash n, square bracket close, double quotes close, line. So this edit set conversion code is used to read an entire string until a new line is supplied. Slash n means that you read an entire string. That means now when you write this, your string is capable of reading New Delhi, because after New Delhi you give that new line character. So that's why this is, if you want to read a string with multiple spaces in between, this is GRIT. Welcome to C programming. Hello world kind of strings. If you want to give, then we got to use this edit set conversion code. Okay, this is important to remember. Edit set conversion code. We'll read a line of input from the keyboard and display the same on the screen because I've used printf. Okay, so now is there any other way of reading strings? Yes, you can use unformatted functions, get char, get s, get ch, etc. to read, to read strings. One of the examples is, yes, function get char is used to read one single character. If you read multiple single characters like that and group it into a character array, then it becomes a string. For example, take this program. Just try to understand this program. You read a get char is used to read one character. That character is stored in ch. After that, we are writing line of I is equal to ch, where line is a character array. And I plus plus, you'll just increment your I so that you keep everything writing in the last. While of ch not equal to slash n. When this is equal to new line, you'll just stop it and place a null character at the end of the string. If you want to print it, just printf writing printf percentile s line. Okay, so we can loop getchar inside any loop, while, for, do while, and get your job done. This is one of the ways. But getchar basically is used to read only one character, because string means group of characters. You put it inside a loop. Okay. So next one, can I do it using getters? Yes, there is one direct option of using it using getters, and this is getters. Okay, so getters, this needs to be commented. Generally, we write printf percentile s line, but here, there's something else called as getters. Getters job is to directly read a string. It reads a string. So getters of str, getters function reads reads characters into string from the keyboard until a new line character is encountered. Getters is a function that directly reads an entire string until a new line is given. Okay, instead of printf, you can also use puts. There is an equivalent function puts that we'll see in the next part. Okay, is there any other way of writing strings? Yes. Now that we have seen multiple ways of reading strings, it's time to see how do we write strings. Yes, you can write strings using printf, using puts, using putchar, using putch, etc. Okay, so these are all the possible ways. The first one is printf. Printf percentile s string. Yes, it prints the entire string. There is another way also, just like how we have scanf percentile ws, in the same way we also have printf percentile ws or w.ds. W is width, as we all know. D is number of characters that you want to print, or P stands for precision. So this is what it is. If I write percentile 10.4 yes, then it prints in 10 spaces first 4 characters of a given string. Okay, so features of percentiles. There are a few properties for percentiles. When the field width is lesser than the length of the string, the entire string is printed. We all know that. The integer value on the right hand side of the decimal point specifies the number of characters to be printed. When the number of characters to be printed is specified as 0, nothing is printed. The minus sign indicates that the string to be left justified, and a positive sign or a no sign indicates that the string is default right justified. Okay. So yes, for example, let us take this example. What's my string here? Let's take a minute and try to see this. What's the string here? The string is good morning. Okay, now that the string is good morning, let's try to see what am I printing? 14s. Now try to figure out the length of good morning. G-O-O-D space M-O-R-N-I-N-G. So along with this, it's 13. So the total length is 13. I'm given 14. So therefore, it prints good morning with one space before. That's it. Now, percentile 4s str. My dear boys and girls, 4s str. Okay, this should be 0.4s. Sorry, this should be 0.4s. Okay, so this is 0.4s. When there is 0.4s, you get to print only first 4 characters of this particular string. Okay, so when this is 0.4s, if this is 0.4s, then you print only the first 4 characters. What are all the first 4 characters? G-O-O-D, good. Okay, these are the first 4 characters. Now, here the third one, it is percentile 14.4s. 14.4s, out of 14 spaces, you print only 4. There's one missing here. So this is good here, the second one. The third one, out of 14, 10 spaces, then you will print good. This is the third answer. Next one, minus 14.4s, minus gets it left justified. So therefore good, and then followed by spaces. This is the next one. Okay, now 14.0s. 14.0 means you don't print anything. So here you should be getting nothing because there is no slash and you're not printing this. But here, this is how you will have. It will not print anything. Next is percentile 0.3s, only prints first 3 characters. The first 3 characters are GOO, so it just prints GOO. Next one is printf percentile s str. It prints as usual good morning with no problem at all. Okay, so therefore the only thing needs to be understood is percentile w dot ps. W stands for total spaces or total width. W means width. And P means precision. P means number of characters that we want to print. How many characters do we want to print? So for example, if I write percentile 5.3s, that means in 5 spaces, this means in 5 spaces, I want to print 3 characters. Suppose the 3 characters are ABC, then the answer will be like this, ABC. Okay. So suppose if the string is ABC and I want to print percentile 5.3s, it will be something like ABC. But suppose same I write percentile minus 5.3s, then the answer would be First ABC, then followed by spaces. That's the difference between left justification and right justification. If you get minus symbol before, then it will be left justified. Okay, so this is about how are we going to do. This is the percentile WDS. Okay, so yes. How do you string using putchar? Yes, as I told, putchar is only meant for putting one character, so you got to loop it. So here you can see you got to loop it to get printed the multiple characters. And also before we close, put ch instead of putchar, put ch can also be used, but the only thing is put ch is available in, yes, exactly, conio.h. Okay, so before we close, I recommend you to take a pen and a paper and try to write these logics. Write a C program to read and display your name. Now that you understood how to read and write strings, write a C program to read and display your name. And also write a C program to initialize the strings in all the possible ways. Let the string be Hyderabad. Initialize the string Hyderabad in all the possible ways in a program and just display it. Initialize it in one way, display it. Initialize it in another way, display it. Initialize it in another way and display it. Just like how we displayed good morning in this program, good morning, I want you to take out multiple options of percentile w.ps. Use printf percentile w.ps and try to print the string Hyderabad. Okay. Or else Hyderabad doesn't make a big choice. Try to print New Delhi. New space Delhi. Let the string be new space Delhi and try to print it in all the formats of percentile w.ps. That's the third question. And the fourth question is write a C program to read and display all the details of a student like name, roll number, college name, branch, and year. Okay. So yes, take up, understand once again, go through the logic and try to write these codes so that you will understand how does strings work basically. Okay. Thank you.